Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the 2021-2022, the next generation Subaru WRX and Subaru WRX STI. I do apologize. I wanted to get a video out. I have lost my microphone, like my external mic that plugs into my Zoom, so I'm using my Zoom kind of like a microphone. And if you follow my channel and if you follow the live streams, you know that my 2016 Subaru WRX right now is not running. I'm fixing a few problems. I'm doing some work on the front bumper, so lots of videos to come. But in today's video, we're doing an impromptu video on the new generation WRX and STI because we've got new news and some news from Japan, I think, has come out. But it's basically all over social media, and if you guys follow the Subaru world and the Subaru community, it's probably pretty hard for you to miss this info. So I wanted to cover it, hence the impromptu video, sitting outside my house after a day's worth of work, holding my mic. Things I normally wouldn't do. If you want to keep up to date with other Subaru news, you want to follow my build for my 2016 WRX, or at least see what I'm doing and what the problem is with my car, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And if I provide valuable content to you today, I'd love to get a like on the video. And if you guys are already subscribed and you're not getting notified for my videos, make sure you hit that bell notification next to the subscribe so you guys get notifications both for when I post videos and for when I go live, because I've been going live pretty much every Saturday for the past 2 Saturdays, but I intend on keeping that up and going and doing a live stream on Saturdays. So we've gotten some information from a couple news sources, but it's pretty much gone viral since. It's that the next generation WRX and STI are going to be getting the FA24 motor, which is the motor that's in the Ascent, however you choose to pronounce it. It's a 2.4 liter, I believe it's a flat 4. It's a 2.4 liter flat 4 turbocharged engine. It's like the FA20 that's in this, except it's got 0.4 extra liter. Well, there's actually some pretty big differences. So on the Subaru Ascent, it produces 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. And the new claims are that the WRX STI is actually going to make 400 horsepower. So that's a pretty good number. And if it were truly to make that, I think I know what I'm doing with this car, unfortunately, when that new when that STI comes out. And you know, I hope that if we get 400 horsepower on the WRX STI, it just becomes the Subaru STI. Maybe not. I like the separation between the two. It makes them two different cars. I own a WRX, and I'm sure people that own STIs are even more passionate about that. What else do we know, right? We don't know a lot of concrete information, actually. So I wanted to cover this, and I wanted to be kind of not the negative naysayer, but the fact that this hasn't come from Subaru is kind of a big deal. So I'm going to show you guys what the renderings look like that have been posted as well, but there's been no official news as of today from Subaru on this information, so it may be a leak, it may be some insider source, we don't know right now. There's still a lot up in the air, nothing's been confirmed, but let's talk about what has been going around, and then let's talk for a second when we get later in the video about the reality of what's happening, and you know, my perspective as an engineer and my perspective as somebody that stays around the community of content creators, and you know, generally what we think. So it's the first WRX in a while that I've seen that I'm like, ugh. And you know, sometimes they grow on me, but typically these cars come out and I get really excited about the way they look, and it's one of the few things that, well, it's actually one of the reasons that keeps me in the car. I generally every day love the way my WRX looks, and I love the way this platform looks, and you know, it is a considerable portion about why I drive this car, why it's my second one, and why I'm probably going to continue to drive them. So I really hope this rendering isn't exactly what we see. I hope there's more drastic changes, potentially a hatchback, and then there's going to be another video. I don't know if I've already posted it or it's going to come after this video, but there could potentially be a hatchback. Well, wagon. More likely a wagon. But so the news is exciting, even though it's not concrete. It definitely means something's happening, something is potentially coming, and that excites me as a WRX owner and as a Subaru enthusiast. I'm not excited about the rendering and what it could potentially look like, but I hold faith that Subaru is going to produce a vehicle that looks pretty damn good. I am excited about the rumors about the numbers for the engine, that it could be getting the 2.4 liter, which might unlock even more tuning capability. I don't know that for a fact. They're going to have to address the power and torque issues with the CVT model. If they choose to go with the FA24, or they have to beef up the CVT, I don't know what's going to happen there, but there is potential of a possible new transmission. We're definitely still going to see the manuals. There's no doubt about that. I hope they keep the manual because it's one of the, it's one of the few cars that still can be bought in a manual at this level, at what that level could be, like the Golf R. I don't know how long the manual is going to last if they've announced it dying. Maybe I'm running a rabbit hole right here, but you guys know what I mean. It's good that we keep the manual. It'll be exciting to see if a new transmission comes out with the automatic or CVT WRXs, and they have to keep rolling them out. But let's step back for a second with all that exciting news and talk about the reality of what's happening. And if you guys also follow the news, it's been less publicized, but there have been delays with a lot of car manufacturers, and there are now new warnings that 2021 models might not be coming out as soon as we thought, and volume at dealers might not be there, and it's just because of delays from COVID-19. And it's kind of a reality check, because if the car companies that have already unveiled their 2021 models and new generation things and new cars are having trouble delivering them to dealers, I think it's unlikely that new companies that haven't revealed their cars are going to release them for the 2021 year, just because there's going to be less hype and there's less of a chance of making big numbers and all the good things that you need when you release a new generation of car. There's a lot of investment that goes into bringing a new car to the market. So the likelihood of us getting it in 2021 is probably pretty low. The likelihood of us at least having an unveil in 2021 is probably reasonable. We can probably expect to know what's happening in the next 12 months with the Subaru WRX and STI. I bet you Subaru is going to say something to start generating hype and excitement. We're at a weird place because there's a lot of cars, a lot of iconic common cars that are needing a new generation, and I'm sure the new generation is almost ready to go, but because of COVID, it's either not going to come around, it's going to be delayed, or it might fail. People just aren't buying new cars as they used to, and there's going to be delays. We still don't know how COVID's going to affect us, especially in the fall with flu season coming, so it'll be interesting to see how the industry's hit. I think that we still, if you get excited and you're waiting out, you should still have the lens of it's probably not coming in 2021. We're probably thinking further out. A lot of the media that's picking up the content about the new generation WRX and publishing it and talking about kind of all the numbers, the pictures, and hyping it up, none of them are really addressing the fact that production is just down, and it's harder to get materials, it's harder to get people working, there are more regulations, and there's just changes in how things are happening in the industry and in the world and how consumer markets are working. So we should expect delays, we should expect things to be different, and with all that, we should also expect a much more expensive platform. If we're getting that much more power and all these extra things, and just with inflation and the way cars are trending up in cost, for all you guys that are hoping for a new model to come out around $25K, it's probably not going to happen. A lot of people I've seen are excited about some cheaper model coming out. My guess is the base model is going to quickly reach $30,000. That's what you're going to end up paying for it before tax. Just a guess. My guess is the STI, we're going to start seeing it eclipse into the mid to high 40s with the limited edition. I'm just guessing here, but I think that we're going to see a fair increase in cost in these cars. So as you get hyped out, also acknowledge it. I am excited for, when these new generations comes out, this generation gets a little bit cheaper. So likely what I'll do, unless I do something crazy with this car, is I'm going to sell this car 8 months to when you can first order the newest one. I'm going to get into something else that I've always wanted to get into that's probably not a Subaru, and wait a little while, and then either buy the newest Subaru or STI just because I want to be part of it, because I'm excited about it, or pick up this generation from somebody and build it because I'm going to get, I'm going to sell higher, wait for the devaluation, and then buy. And that's a perfect world. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's something I think about whenever this kind of stuff happens. So I'm going to be on the lookout for that. You guys should be on the lookout for that. I am hopefully going to get my name in for getting one of the first STIs if they do come to market, and if they truly impress me, if they truly come with 400 horsepower and they're not the way they look in what those renderings are, I'm hopefully going to get my name in to get one of the first ones, and hopefully be one of the first people to make content about it. So that's a goal. I've always wanted to kind of be on the cusp of having a car where it's new in the community, try new things out, try modifications out, work with companies. But I've only been in the car game for so long, so it's hard to do that. So that is my goal, and it should be a lot of fun. So I'll keep you guys up to date with what's happening with Subaru news. I like to take everything with a grain of salt. I'm never going to be the first person to report something, because in my opinion, if one person's reporting something, it's kind of BS. And it's interesting, this is an interesting one. I think I can't tell what the real credibility of this is. A lot of people are reporting on it. Again, it didn't come from Subaru, but it's not like one person going on a whim, because that happens, you know, especially with media, especially when people are struggling. People want to hit stories, so they throw something out there. So it's a lens to have. Don't believe everything you see. I'm going to try to keep you guys up to date as much as possible, but I want real credibility before I make a video like this. And I made this video because so many people are reporting it. So I thought I'd step in and, you know, add some value, hopefully educate you hopefully educate you guys, hopefully get you excited and manage expectations. So definitely follow the channel if you want to see more about my WRX, you want to stay, you know, more up to date on real Subaru news. And, you know, eventually when these Subarus are announced, I'm going to figure out a way to live stream it through the channel so you guys can watch, because I know that, you know, as a car person, I always want to see the unveilings, but it's actually really hard to see them live. It's actually really difficult with some of the smaller stuff at certain auto shows, like the press releases. They give the advantage to written articles and some exclusive videos, but usually those are bigger corporations that are making like full-on videos, and there's a time delay. I'd love just to live stream it and figure that out. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to get press passes. We'll see. But I'm going to try to stay on top of it because I also want to get one of them. So that's really important to me, but I won't take too much more of your time. Look out in the future for some really cool videos on my car, just in general in the Subaru platform, and some videos potentially about reviewing other owners' cars, because people have been sending me like photos of their cars and their builds and being like, hey, comment on it. So I might make a video around that. So thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Thank you for sticking this far through. I'd love to hear from you guys if you think that the FA24 is actually what we're going to get, whether you think the STI is going to hit the 400 mark and whether that's real or not. So drop it in the comment section below. Otherwise, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great day.